6:30, 6:40ish. I'll have to go haul some more beans in. Hopefully, it's a little cold this morning. I'll have to give the truck the one that's usual 10 minutes. Gotta set my cruise on. That's how you get the RPM set up. Not even smoking that bad. Well, I got the 7.3 back yesterday. Well, I had it back. They just had to finish up some stuff on the front end that they didn't have the correct oval washers for or whatever. And then I also got a master cylinder put on and a brake caliper because they couldn't bleed the brakes on that caliper. It was so tight even with the cords they couldn't get off. Anyways, I got it back yesterday. Last night I was driving it home. Come on. Yeah, I hit a deer. Last night. Thank God that I had this bumper put on, or that I put this bumper on my pickup, because I hit the deer right here. I didn't have any time to do anything, but I hit the deer right here. It saved the whole front end. Not even a scratch up here. Nothing wrong. Didn't even move the bumper. But it, of course, flipped the deer around and smacked into the side of my pickup. So yeah, I am not a happy camper this morning or last night. I was very angry. But this morning, thinking about it, had I been driving my half ton, I probably would have totaled that pickup, because if I would have left the same time, hit the same deer, same place I did with that one, I probably would have totaled that pickup. So it's fine. I'll call my insurance today, and you know what? Maybe it'll be better than it was. So yeah, that's my morning story, you know. But it can't hold us back. We're hopefully gonna start getting some of these beans done. We've got sugar beets. We were supposed to start last Thursday. It is now Wednesday. Well, last Thursday was the first day of digging beets. We don't have to start, and we didn't, because our digger wasn't ready. We had beans on the ground still, and we still do have beans on the ground. But you can see the beet diggers up at the shop again. We got our new chain finally put in. So hang on a second, I'll show you that. So I haven't talked a whole bunch about beet digger and sugar beets yet, but it's a little hard to see because it's in the shop. But this is our beet digger here. It's an Alloway beet digger, 8-row, 30 inches, just like the rest of our crops. So we had to pull out this chain here. This is the tank chain. It sits inside of there. It'll make a lot more sense once you see it running, but basically that's where it'll hold a few beets while the next truck gets up there to get dumped on. You can't hold a whole bunch of beets in this thing, but there's some plastic slides right there we had to replace. You can see here, hang on, there we go. So you can see right there, we bolted these on last night. Those are about 1.25 inches of plastic. We got a little bit more to do up there. They weren't quite long enough. But here's the old ones. Yeah, wore all the way through to the metal there. And yeah, these ones were toast. So, wow, our shop is a wreck right now. The wind crazy yesterday and blowing a bunch of leaves in here. Got the Caterpillar hooked up to the beet digger. Looks pretty good. It's about almost color matched. It's about the same. So, oh, another thing that we got done with beets this year. I'll walk over here and show you guys this. This is our Amity beet defoliator. We bought this last year. It's actually a 12-row 22, but we moved all the flails on the inside to make it an 8-row 30. So it's a little bit wider than it needs to be, but it works great. I mean, this thing is amazing. We've always used 4 rows, and we usually have to use 2 tractors, 2 4 rows to keep up with that 8-row digger. So this 8-row was really nice last year. Well, one of the things that we did this year is we set it up with John Deere guidance. So this will connect to our tractor, and these rear tires are steerable. So as you're going down, let's say, like the straight rows isn't really that much of a problem, but when you're going down a circle path, this will track in the exact row as the tractor. It's hard to see that you can't see the tires from the tractor, so it's hard to adjust this and get it to stay on the rows. That's what Jeremiah was having issues with. Jeremiah, he runs the defoliator for us. He runs our 8370. So yeah, he was having problems with that last year, and it's always kind of been a problem with the 4 rows, but the 8-row was a bigger problem. So we set it up with John Deere guidance this year. So that should be pretty cool to see. What else has been going on? Oh, we've been planting a lot of wheat behind the beans. Everything behind the silage ground has been planted of wheat already. Most everything behind the beans has been planted now. So yeah, we're getting some things done here. I'm hoping today we get this finished up here and we can try some beets. That's an if, but we'll at least get a few trucks loaded. I probably won't show you guys the first field. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look terrible though. I mean, there's a lot of kochia. We've been having kochia issues with our beets, and so we thought it was going to look a lot worse. We went over it with a stock chopper to get rid of the weeds. And it actually looks a lot better than we were thinking underneath the weeds. So that's a plus. But I'll probably show you guys on a bigger field when we're actually up and going and getting everything done. So, but yeah, today's plan is we got to take 3 trucks of beans over to Torrington, get those unloaded. We'll get back here and finish up this beet digger, hopefully. Maybe we'll try some beets out. My little brother's excited, I know that. He said it, you know, they might pull him out of school just to go beet digging. That's when you know you have a farm kid that likes the farming gig. So that's the plan. Hey everyone, it's the next day. We are starting some beets. So this morning we took our bean trucks over, got them unloaded, and when we got back we took the digger and the defoliator over, got it all working, and we're just going on a little flood field right now. So we're just using the 3 tandem trucks. Obviously, I'm not in a truck or a beet digger, I'm actually in a combine right now. So Dad and Jeremiah run beet digger and defoliator. And we got our 3 tandem trucks running right now. It's just a little field that's close to the piler, so that's going to be enough for today. So I'm over here combining some beans. So we're kind of getting 2 things done at once right now. These beans are pretty good. We don't have much left. You can't really see nothing right now because the wind's blowing from my back, so all the dust is right in the face. But yeah, this field's been doing pretty good. Gonna keep on the windrow here. We've only got, let's see. We've only got 1, 2, 2.5 circles left.
You can tell we're really in a hurry here today.
That's Dad talking on the radio. There we go. Now we can see something. Heading the other way. Except for the big shadow in the way. Thanks, Combine. Yeah, it's not too complicated. It's basically the same setup as our bean cutters. Except for after the pickup head, there's an auger that goes into the feeder house of the Combine. So yeah, we've only got a truck left to load here on this field, and we'll probably call it good on the beans for a little bit. We'll get some beets dug while it's nice and cool here. In the beet world, okay, so the grain bin camera, I need to put one of these on my Caterpillar actually. I overflowed my grain bin once in a while. Anyways, on the sugar beet deal, if it gets too warm out, we have to stop pulling beets because they don't want the pile to get too hot. So if the beet pile gets above, I believe it's 55, maybe 60 degrees, something like that, we'll start having rot in the piles, and basically you just lose that crop. So it won't rot the whole pile, but it's still bad. You're losing crop. You know, it's just like corn or wheat getting wet in a grain bin. You know, it's just something you gotta do. So while it's nice and cool here, we're gonna start digging some beets because we haven't done any at all, and we're about a week behind everybody else. But that's okay. We're gonna get going. I just would show you guys some of this combine in here. Yes. I still have a ways to go. When the beans get up to like there is when you're full. You'll see this in some spots. Right there is where wind blew, and it actually lifted that windrow up and flopped it over there.
You need just a little more in the back.
So yeah, this is a problem with beans. If we have really high winds, you'll start getting them to blow. That's actually not bad, but I've seen them blow like this whole windrow just out there, and it's a real headache to pick up. But it's not terrible. I mean, we got to get it done. It's nothing to whine about, I guess. We're full. I got about halfway down the got about halfway down the field. It's still dusty, but we're full, and we're gonna go dump on this truck. That's the only bad part about beans, is it's a little bit slower. We don't want to run beans through a grain cart because it will cause more splits in the beans, which causes a bigger tear in our beans when we go to haul them in. Excuse me. When we haul them in, we'll get a tear for dirt, foreign material, and splits. Foreign material would be like sticks and whatever else. Dirt, obviously, they don't want to pay for dirt, so they take that weight out of our trucks. They just take a sample and average that through the whole truck. And then splits, they tear us for splits because as the supplier, they want to make sure the beans look customer appealing. So if you're in the store and you see splits in the bag, not that all of us do this, but they don't want the customer to see splits in their bag. They want to see a whole good colored bean, even though it all mashes up the same. See if I can do this one-handed, huh? You can see how badly the wind's blowing. It's still not terrible. I mean, we've seen way worse. It's always hard to judge off of a semi-trailer because it's so low. We'll go right there. I do like this combine because you can adjust the spout in or out. My Kloss, you cannot do that. It is a solid auger, just like all the older combines. So So like that, you can see it's, well, I don't know if you can, but you can see it's kind of hitting the inside belt. So I'll just tip it out a little bit. No, it's not doing that. Yeah, look at how much dirt is flying. All that dust is just dirt off of the beans. They are dirty, and this is why maintenance on this combine costs so much. This is why we don't want my combine out here as well. You know, if we're going to screw up a combine, we'll just screw up one combine. So my phone is freaking out right now for whatever reason. Yeah, so this combine's already kind of screwed up. We have to get it repaired every year. We're actually looking into getting a picket combine. I'll enter in a picture right here. We're looking into getting one of those. We've heard they're better on the dirt, better for when rocks go through. When this combine eats a rock, it does not sound pretty, but luckily this combine does have a rock trap in the feeder house at the back there. So that saves most of them from going into the rotor, but you know, obviously you can't save it all. But yeah, so that's what we got. I've got 22,600 pounds on this truck now. I like to go off of this field view. It counts all the pounds. It gets pretty close as long as everything's calibrated correctly. And yeah, that's what we gotta do. There we go. We're finally starting to get a pile. Sometimes it's hard to see with all the dust, but with the wind blowing, you can actually see what's going on. Probably gonna run out of beans though before we even have to move. We might have to load this truck just a little heavy. We'll see how good these beans are for the rest of the field, but yep, look at that, one pile. And there we go. See what the rest of this field does. Alright, well I just got this field done, and I am getting this truck loaded here. And then I'll probably start this truck and take off for Torrington again.
Let's go to the other side, Pam.
Just to get everything unloaded, then we can worry about beets tomorrow. Sounds like they're about done with that little field, that first field, so the test run's pretty much over. Maybe tomorrow I'll show you guys how this world of beet digging works. I think we're going to hold off on the beans for a little bit. Maybe this weekend or something we'll get back into them. We'll just have to see. So maybe the beginning of next week.
Combining at least on that field, got his truck loaded. I think he's gonna take it over, so someone's gonna have to pick up Autumn.
And this right here is the beautiful thing about rock traps. I just dumped the rock trap right here. All these rocks went through the head into the feeder house. Don't ask me how those little metal fingers picked that up, because I have no idea, but they do. And luckily we caught them in the rock trap instead of putting it through the rotor. Here we are, we're over here at the bean place. I just got here, rolled in at 5 o'clock, called in and said I was going to be late, so I didn't mind. It's harvest time. I'm going to unroll my tarp so you can test it. I can't really give you a history lesson on this place because I don't know when it was built, but everything was built back in the day for tandem trucks, so it's a little bit different and tight trying to get a semi around this place, but they've modified enough things to get it done. But we're scaled in, so we're going to head over to number 4 elevator and dump some beans. That's good, because that's the fast one. I want to go back home. Got to see a bunch of derrisons coming out of this place. get absolutely covered when you're inside. Kind of weird. Without my sidekick, my dog's off getting her hair cut. I had to have Dave go pick her up. It's kind of weird not having her with me. It's a little different. And for anybody that's wondering about my pickup and hitting the deer, I talked to my insurance agents today about a claim. Well, I talked to them yesterday, the day after hitting the deer. And now 2 days, which is today, Thursday, I have an appointment to get it to see. Gosh dang, come on brain, work. I have an appointment for my pickup at the body shop for come on Tristan, we're gonna see how much money it's gonna cost. Why my brain is not working right now, I do not know. It's late in the day. I'm about wore out for the day. Okay, so I really enjoy history stuff. I'm not like a professor on anything because I cannot tell you anything, but I really enjoy it. I enjoy like understanding or seeing how stuff got to where it is now, and I just think history is cool. That's why I drive an old pickup, drive an old truck. I really like old stuff. So I was talking to one of the older guys that worked there, and he said he had worked there for 33 years, and he said that he didn't know exactly when it was built, but he's seen writings on the wall for 1929. So that's pretty freaking cool. What is that, 6 or 7 years away from being 100 years old? And that's if that was the first year that it was built. So, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. I didn't want to talk while I was videoing in there. So, come on Tristan, shift. So one of the other things that I learned was that wooden leg that you've seen, it looks pretty new, looks like pretty new wood. That's all original wood. The only thing that's been changed is the staircase. They had to rebuild the staircase. So that's pretty cool. And then I can't remember if it's in that video or not, but there's a big I-beam above your head. And that I-beam says 6,000 pound capacity. Well, that's for those old trucks that used to dump on the side, you know, everything was built for tandems, like I said. So that I-beam used to have a crane on it, and it would lift the box on the tandem truck to dump it. The box did not have a hoist or a cylinder, nothing on the truck. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, so just a little bit of history. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys do, but that's something I thought I found interesting. Another fun fact is, just down there, you're not going to see it, but just down there right next to the river was my old college house. I rented and lived in that for a year and a half. So that's pretty cool. Also, I don't know if anybody's seen this yet. Yes, this gauge is new. Yes, I know it doesn't match everything else. I have an RPM gauge for it that matches this one, but of course it's shattered in shipping. So that one's going to have to wait. And the rest of these gauges are about 50 bucks each. So slowly but surely we'll get them to match. And the main reason I had to change the mile per hour gauge is because mine was off. So this one actually runs off of GPS. It's got a little hockey puck there. I don't know if you can see it. It runs off GPS. So that's pretty cool. And then my RPM gauge actually gets stuck. Plus, all the lights are nasty green, and that light doesn't work. I'm sure I could change the bulb, but I want new. I think they look better. Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me alright. I forgot my mic. But we are out digging some beets this morning. Yo! We got the beet digger rolling. This is probably going to be my last load for the day because the beets are getting too warm. And about 55 degrees. The temperature of the beets, not the outside temperature, but the temperature of the beets is close to 55, and that's when they want to shut us down. That is, again, so that the pile doesn't rot. So, you know, if the pile doesn't rot, then that's more money in our pockets, so it is what it is. It's a little windy, if you can't tell from the flag. We'll let him get set up here. Caterpillar looks pretty good on this digger. That's embarrassing. Okay, here we go. We're not good enough to have a beet cart. Come on, Kristen. There we go. So, as a semi driver, I've got to keep just a steady speed, and my dad in the digger, he'll just move it forward and back. That'll get us loaded here, so we just kind of started not too long ago. It's going to be really loud, but I want to roll down the door. Turn chaotic real quick. There we go. That's digging beets essentially. You can see right there, those beets have tops on them, and these beets do not. That is from the defoliator, which I showed you guys earlier in the video. But hopefully we can get some video of it defoliate. Yeah, I got 4 loads in with the belt trailer, and it's 11:30. I won't be able to make it back before noon. It's starting to get a little windy. We're gonna probably go combine some beans now and get the other 2 trucks loaded. So, on to the next. But I think that's going to be the end of the video. So, thank you guys for watching again, and look forward to the next one. Thank you.